Welcome into the firm of Joe Fisher, Esquire. No Patrick Harris, no Danny Marang, nobody else, no other warm body out there apparently that they could get to fill the seat. So they threw in the righty setup man to try and get the hold today on the firm to get us over to happy hour prime time and another great day here on the Fan Sports Network. 105.1 The Fan, 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, YouTube, and Twitch for the kids. Again, Joe Fisher III here hanging out with you. I got Casey
We went to
Smith.
the bullpen.
Huh? Yeah, that's right.
We went to the bullpen today.
Tugged the ear.
Tapping the wrist.
Yeah, exactly. How you doing, Casey?
I'm doing good, Joe. How you doing today?
It's a whirlwind, man. Just, got out of a sales meeting earlier, rejuvenated.
So, yeah, you're cutting it a little bit close.
Yeah, I had to text you halfway through that meeting, like, we're going a little long here, but it was all for good reasons, We're trying to make this place great, all right, for all you wonderful listeners out there. But I know that right now on the calendar, it is a beautiful day of July 29th, which means we are very close to August. And if you've been listening to this station or if you just have a pulse on the sports world, football is getting very, very, very close. To the point where I came in, I think, last week to the studio to tell Dirt and Sprague. They did like 2 segments on the ACC. And I told him, I was like, dude, I had a full chub my whole drive into work listening to you guys talk about ACC. And it's the ACC, for God's sakes. Yes, exactly. That was the noise. I made multiple noises like that in the car. But I'm just absolutely stoked for football. We're going to get to a ton of football today. Obviously, we got Big Ten Media Days going on right now. Dan Lanning is, I think, going on at 10:30?
10:45.
10:45. We will not be going live to Dan Lanning because I think you know why. We'll get whatever audio we need out of that. Well, I'm not going to have you sit through 15 minutes of coach platitudes and everything. Even though Dan is one of the better coaches, speakers, gives you the best quotes. We're not going to go live for Dan Lanning's 15 minutes at Media Days, but we'll get audio from that. All the other coaches, I'm sure Isaac and Suk, they may or may not play some audio later today. But as I said, I'm getting stoked for football season. Started looking at, all sorts of different college football breakdowns. We started doing our divisional previews on Sports Saturday, where we broke down most recently, the vaunted divisions of the AFC and NFC South, where somehow my Buccaneers ended up winning the division with a 7-10 record. So we'll see if that comes to fruition this year, which I am actually hoping for. I would love to see a 7-10 division winner, not just because of the fact that it's like the right thing and that's how the tiebreakers work and everything. I want to see the pure chaos of everybody losing their S that a 7-10 divisional winner gets to host the playoff team. I want chaos. I'm like the Joker. All right, I just want chaos. That's what I want right now. But yeah, there's tons of football going on right now. Football is still going hot and heavy for me because even with World Cup ending, my son, he's in 8th grade, plays for a club team in Newburgh. I don't know what's happening. Switch has been flipped.
You're carrying the juice over?
Not me. It's him, dude.
Really?
He went camping last weekend on his mom's side of the family. He comes back into town, and we're in the car. We're going back home or something. It's Sunday night, and he goes, "Can you take me to the high school tomorrow?" And I go, "Well, for what reason?" And he's like, "I just want to go to the field. I want to go to the turf field and just kick the soccer ball around and practice for a bit." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. I can drop you off for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever you want." He's like, "Yeah, that's fine." He's staying after practice, and then we're getting the tournament, we're getting all the tournament info and what we're looking like. Again, my kid's got a boot on him, all right, where he's ready to take that next step. And then I got the ultimate buzzkill last night. Again, I'm watching them practice. It's 8th grade boys versus 8th grade girls scrimmage also last night on the turf field. It's pandemonium, all right, a raucous environment of, I believe, 6 parents in the stands. But I get the news yesterday. His coach, I'm walking the track and getting my steps in, and I come by and he's like, "You hear the good news? We got moved divisions." I'm like, "Oh, okay. What does that mean?" "Yeah, we got moved to the Central Division this upcoming season."
Did y'all get relegated?
Okay, what does that mean?
Did y'all get relegated?
I think we got geographically relegated. I think they were like, "Yeah, we'll keep you in Division 2, but we're gonna move you guys over here."
That's tough.
instead of playing teams in the Portland metro area, and then, some in Woodburn, Salem, something like that, we are now in the Central Division where we'll possibly play some, Kaiser, Salem-based teams. But those teams will also go down to Albany and Corvallis and Eugene and Springfield.
You got some road trips ahead of you.
And Bend. And Staten, I think, is a
You've
team.
got
One
a
of these.
lot of road trips ahead.
Dude, when he told me that, I literally just fell down, put my hands on my knees, and what? How? And he's like, yeah, that was my reaction too. So now I just my mind starts spinning, and I'm like, all right, well, I have Sports Saturday, and I do the Ducks post. I'm not going to any away games this year, it sounds like. And the best way that any of this can work out for me is if, when they have to play the Bend team, it happens on the weekend that the Ducks don't have a game. So that way I can go to Bend, go watch his team play soccer.
And the weekends that they play the Eugene teams
is hopefully the one game, because I get one game a year that I get to go to where I am relieved of post-game duties, so that way I can go to my favorite place on earth, and that is Autzen Stadium. And primal Joe Fisher comes out. I am hoping that one game I choose, and we'll wait till the soccer schedule comes out, that we can coordinate so that way I can go to the soccer game in Eugene or Springfield, because they also play Springfield teams too, and then I can go double dip and go get my Ducks game in as well.
You're playing with fire there, Joe.
It is the perfect example of expect the worst, hope for the best. I am fully expecting to not get to see any away games. And as far as the home games go, as far as how that all times out, it's going to be a mess. Me and Game Changer are going to be like this all season long. I might have to subscribe to Game Changer so I can get all the stats.
So why is it that they got relegated?
I don't know, man. I just it's not relegated. All right, let's find a different adjective term for that, verb, whatever the word is.
There's
for it.
No other term in soccer that I know of. You're gonna have to help me out on that one.
I think they are still technically in Division 2, but just got moved geographically to another. So it's instead of they playing EPL, they're playing La Liga. I know that geographically doesn't work out that way either. But
I don't think the math adds up there.
Just work with me here, all right? They didn't get relegated, damn it. They probably got relegated. But, yeah, so I started thinking about that last night when I got that news, and I'm like, well, this fall should be fun. And spring, too. This applies to their spring season, and that's not much of a concern because of, no Ducks and stuff like that. But
that'll be an interesting fall for you, Joe.
Dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just I'm waiting for the soccer schedule to come out, and I think they release that incrementally. You get weeks 1 and 2, and then you get weeks 3 and 4.
Oh God!
And then you get weeks 5, 6, really 7, 8, and then you get 9, 10. Yeah, it's just
they can't just give you the whole schedule.
No, it's like college football. I'm dealing with college football here, but in youth soccer.
Well, college football gives you the full schedule.
Well, they don't give you times.
They don't give you times.
They don't give you times.
They give you the matchups.
See, and I think all these games will be on. They'll be on Saturdays or Sundays. See, that's what I need to hope for too. Is mostly Sunday games. Also, if we can get a good chunk of these games falling on Sundays, then I think I'll be in the clear. Isn't youth sports just great?
Just the best.
I know there's so many parents out there listening that just say dude, when I was growing up and going through high school and college and what did I want to do with my life? I wanted to dedicate all my Saturdays in fall, winter, and spring in a gym or at a soccer field somewhere, not doing the things I would like to do. That's what I want to do in life. I will say though, parents, if you have young kids right now in sports, youth sports, or say that little Timmy is just not up to snuff with all the other kids out there, it gets better. Watching 7th and 8th grade soccer compared to 4th, 5th grade, there was one year where there was just a jump where I'm like, wow, this is how about this? This is pretty pleasant. I think I can stick around and watch this. I will say though, if it's not kindergarten, 1st grade soccer or high school and above, that's the only type of soccer you should be watching. Anything between 2nd grade to 5th grade, not good. Kindergarten, 1st grade soccer is absolutely hilarious. kindergarten, first grade basketball.
I think I'm with you.
Absolutely
there.
hilarious.
You can watch the little ones play soccer because they're still figuring out what the sport is and how to play it. High school, then you're actually going, okay, these kids are competitive. That little gap in between, that's tough. That's a tough viewer.
Because it's just that age where you're like, you're not a toddler, so you still you have some coordination.
But the
I see
fundamentals
it,
out here
but
are
yeah,
garbage.
Like, my God, man. And they're in that mix of like rec league versus like travel teams. So like there are some good kids and then some bad kids, and some care and then some don't. Dude, I remember doing a flag football league one time with my son. I think I had like 8 or 9 kids on the team. By the end of that season, I think we had like one half to go in the last game. The 4 kids who essentially were like forced to play by their parents and could care less about being there, or couldn't care less about being there, I basically benched them the whole second half. I was like, I'm just trying to get to the end of the season at this point, and I know these 4 kids are going to be able to finish out the game and actually give an F, whereas Timmy, Ethan, Elijah, and Chad over there are trying to create turf piles.
What, are you name-dropping these kids out here, Joe?
I made all those up, actually. That was off the cuff right there. I'm glad I didn't incriminate any of those poor kids. But, yeah, I got him making turf piles over here.
Picking dandelions, and we're on a basketball court.
See, I went turf piles. That's the new picking dandelions. In baseball, yeah, you're out in outfield, but if you're playing on a turf field as a 4 or 5-year-old, you're pounding the turf to make the turf piles to see how much rubber you can get in one pile. That's what half this team was doing. And it was the last game of the year, last half. I'm like, you 4, you're in the rest of the game. I'm done with the season.
We're just going rotation.
We're losing this game. I don't care.
Spurs it up.
I deep. All go. 4 verts the rest of the game. Let's do this, boys. So, yeah, my fall is going to be it's going to be a mess. But the one thing that will not make it a mess and will make it much, much better is football. Because we're going to have plenty of it.
Football is king. That is the best thing when it comes back.
It's just like this build-up. I don't know what it is about this year. Maybe it's about the Ducks and their, projections, or maybe it's Andy Dirt Johnson, getting me all worked up about my Cowboys, saying that they're his Cowboys now this season.
It's time to nut up or shut up.
It is time to nut up or shut up. And maybe it's because the lack of noise coming from the Cowboys. I love how that's the story from the Cowboys. The story is there is no story from the Cowboys. I don't know. Just the anticipation of this season in both college and NFL. NFL, we'll maybe get into this. Outside of the Rams, who's the second best team in the NFL? Do we even know? I mean, maybe have that conversation later today. I am just so stoked that we are here on the count. The build-up is almost just as fun as getting there. Once we're in season, it's just a whirlwind, and what you think's going to happen doesn't. What you don't think's going to happen does, and then you got to you work on the fly. But this build-up, I've heard Rob and Suk talk about this. It's like, what would you rather do, pregame, postgame? And I think for a game, postgame is ideal. You get to analyze what happened. Mm-hmm. But for an entirety of a season, preseason, and the build-up and the prediction, it's just like, dude, it is so much fun.
The build-up to football is, again, better than any other sport. Football has been doing it the best and at the top of the game for, again, how long now?
Yeah.
It's just, they know how to do it. They know the formula. They know the recipe.
Well, and it's just like,
just keep feeding it to us.
Well, and it comparatively speaking to like other leagues like the NBA's offseason is fun just because it's so drama, transactional filled. Whereas like this point of the offseason for NFL, it's more so who's going to win? Who's the best team? X's and O's, strategy, new coaches, new places, new faces, everything like that. And that's where that excitement starts a bit. You get some quotes from Big Ten Media Days. Every coach there thinks they're going to win the Big Ten, which I love because then you'll see which one's going to have egg on their face in 4 or 5 months. So, I mean, just ton to get to. Big Ten Media Days. I mean, we're just going to dive into it. Different quotes that we've been seeing throughout the day, today, yesterday. It's one of those that my sports fandom following, especially summertime, is very like what I if it hits me in the face, I'm like, whoa, then I'll dive into it a little bit more, right? So this whole Big Ten Media Day has been catching quotes here and there. Obviously, listening to the guys here on the station all the time, so catching little tidbits and audio bits there, seeing what I can find on Twitter, some quotes, and then looking at the schedules too. I know that's big, is that now we're really diving into the schedules and which teams have the potential this year, at least not in Big Ten, but around the country. What I'd love to know today, too, and you can text this in, 503-864-6326. That is the fan text line. Who is the team in the Big Ten, or who are the teams, rather, one team that you think is going to play below where they should, maybe not hit their win total, the team that's getting hyped up that you think is going to take a step back? And then who's a team maybe in that middle tier or that lower tier that it's like, hey, watch out. I think they've got some good things going, right coach, OC, quarterback, did well in the trend, whatever the case is. I'm curious because I feel like there is every conference, every league has tiers, and Big Ten, same thing, has some tiers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if there is someone in that third, fourth ring there that is going to make that jump, maybe get an upset, maybe just push some teams harder than it should, or end up being there at the end of the season that we did not expect seeing. So, yeah, very curious about that. Big Ten Media Day stuff. Jersey patches, so hot right now. We got some thoughts on the most recent Blazer news. We'll get to that in the second hour. They're still debating about LeBron MJ on national media cycles, so I'm going to dive into that just a little bit. So with this LeBron news going to the 76ers, we got new quarterbacks and coaches across college football. We got web gems later today. Possibly the worst hire ever. I think I'm willing to put the stamp on it. This coach in the NFL should probably take a note from another coach in the NFL. And then I think I have the best version of something in sports of all time. I think I have found a clip, a piece of audio that this is definitively. You want to talk about putting a stamp on it? 10 toes down.
We've got a champion on these airwaves. So
this is definitively the best version of this specific moment in sports.
I've got one for you, so I need to know how they compare.
Okay, perfect. But let's dive into Big Ten Media Days, shall we? I mean, it's what we've been waiting for. We've gotten through the Big 12, the SEC, the non-existent Pac-12 Media Days. It's Big Ten Media Days. Let's dive right into all the kerfuffle, drama, quotes, and everything coming out of there. We do that next. This is The Firm with Joe Fisher, Esquire, Fan Sports Network.
The Portland
Well, the excitement of football season always comes with the reality of injuries. Hope that this is... I hope the video is worse than the injury. Cincinnati Bengals fans, fingers crossed on Shamar Stewart, carted off the field today during camp. Slowed down video looks like a knee going a way that it shouldn't go. So, yeah, you can draw your conclusions there. Not good. Also, already pulling a hot route here, an audible, in hour number 2.
Don't watch that.
Yeah,
I don't watch
yeah,
that.
you saw.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like a news camera, and then they replayed it and like zoomed in, like Zapruder filmed it, like back into the left. But yeah, hot route in the second hour. I didn't want to talk about it, but I keep seeing the video, and I have spent many years watching this guy play football, and we've spent many times listening to this guy talk about football over the last couple of years. And as T.O. Eloquently put it a few years back,
it's my quarterback.
So it's hard. It's hard talking about my boy Tony in the state he was in the other night.
We
will.
It?
We will get into it later in the show, yes. I mean, as the resident Cowboy fan who absolutely loved 95% of the things Tony Romo did on the football field, yeah, we're going to get into it.
We got to get into it. It's tough.
Big Ten Media Days, though. I mean, where to start? It's just an influx of content from coaches saying stuff to the media polls to just the overall excitement about the season getting going. I will say that, and I've said this on different shows, Sports Saturday, even in the Pac-12 days, I have never in college football been a conference supporter, even of the conference that I am in. Like in the Pac-12 days, and I understood why everybody, I mean, look where we're at now, why everybody in the Pac-12 was so staunchly supportive of the teams in the Pac-12. So that way everybody knows across the country how competitive the conference is. I get it. I get why you root for the conference you do. To me, it's just not what I do. I root for my team. If my team is taking care of business, doesn't matter what conference they're in. Literally, Oregon Ducks took care of business in the Pac-12. They got moved to the Big Ten. What are they doing? They're taking care of business in the Big Ten. They already won a championship in the Big Ten championship. They've won plenty of games. They don't lose to bad teams in the I'm worried about Oregon. Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10, doesn't matter. Don't whatever conference. If they win, that's what I care about. I'm not going to support the other teams. Like I'm not a Michigan State fan. I'm not an Ohio State fan. I'm not a Purdue fan. Not a Northwestern fan. I'm a Ducks fan, all right? So they do good. I don't care what conference they're in. With that being said, give me all the SEC smoke that they have been getting from the Big Ten this week. Mm-hmm. I think that we can all, like whether you are a team of or a fan of a team in the Big 10, Big 12, the ACC, Conference USA, the American, the Sun Belt, it doesn't matter what fan you are, alum you are. We can all get on board of trashing the SEC and how much they're being such babies about this whole college, upper echelon, who runs college football now because Big Ten has 3 straight national championships between 3 different teams. Let's also keep that in mind. SEC, while they were making their run for all those years, how many of those championships went to one team? Bama. They won like 7 of them, right? So LSU, I know they had a couple in there as well.
Clemson had a good...
And they're ACC. So, I mean, like, let's keep in mind, it was extremely top-heavy for all those years with Alabama and LSU. And then Georgia came along. They got there, too, as well. But for a good chunk of that SEC run from 2005 up until a few years ago, it was Bama and everybody else. But let's not forget that, right? And so that's what I always found funny about the supporting the conference argument, like with these SEC teams like Vanderbilt and Mississippi State and Kentucky and, some of these middle tier teams even, I wouldn't say Auburn's middle tier. They've been so the last couple of years. But like the fact that like they ride the coattails of Bama.
Yeah, it's also the fact that we kind of crucified Notre Dame for doing the same grandstanding at the end of the season last year that the SEC is now presenting all of college football. Mm-hmm. Again, Notre Dame was saying, all right, you're not going to give us a playoff spot. We're just going to take our ball and go home. All right, we're not in the position that we want power-wise in the NCAA, so we're going to just take our stuff and go home. That's what the SEC is doing right now.
Yeah. It's
keep that same energy.
100%, dude. It's pitiful. It's funny, and I love, like, now I will say this is somewhat hypocritical of what I just said. It's not me doing it, but like Brett Bielema, for example, yesterday, he was talking about the I think it was about on the expansion. In fact, I think we might actually have the audio in the system if we can try and track that down, Casey. But Brett Bielema, he was at Arkansas, I believe. He was in the SEC. I forget what team he was on. I believe it was Arkansas that he got ran out of. But with that, he's got experience with both those conferences, and he had some remark. Like he's a little bit petty. He's got some pettiness to him. But I think again he's got an axe to grind a little bit from being at SEC, and yes, he was at Arkansas, 2013 to 2017. Wisconsin over to Arkansas, and then did some stints with the Patriots, Giants before jumping over to Illinois. Did you find that, Casey, by chance?
Surgeon.
All good. Basically what Bielema said was, Greg Sankey, I know he's got to protect the SEC, and they kind of want to live in 2005 for forever, which was a great quote. And I saw a great comment following up on that quote where someone was like, he's probably right. USC's versus Texas was a great game. Whereas Texas, now technically an SEC team, but even at that time in 2005, not an SEC team. But yeah, I'm with it. And Bielema, again, it's like, well, you weren't one of the teams that won the national championship. Sure, you've been good the last couple of years. But are you the one that should be saying that? But I think it's a little bit more personal for him with his past SEC. But, I mean, like, imagine Dan saying this in, like, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, going up there and saying, like, yeah, the SEC's still stuck in 2005. Like, everybody be like, damn, dude. Like, and he played at Georgia or coached at Georgia. Like, that would have a little bit.
Maybe right message, wrong messenger.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, good point there. So, yeah, that's where it's like, Bielema, true what you said. Maybe if Signetti said this, it would be a little bit better. But that's been one of my favorite parts of Big Ten Media Day, and that, stem from SEC Media Days. It's just back and forth pissing match between the conferences now. But I love it. I mean, the SEC, you got to toot your horn for years and years, decade and a half, almost 2 decades, about how you guys are at the top of the mountaintop there, and now you're not. And how great it's going to be when a 4th Big Ten team wins the national championship once Oregon hoists that trophy back in late January this year. Calling it. Saying it now. Who would it be outside of Oregon if it would be a 4th different Big Ten champion? It's either Oregon, USC, which let's actually just take that off the board. It's just Oregon.
It's Oregon, Ohio State.
See, but Ohio State, they were one of the 3. So I'm saying if we keep the streak,
you say a new one,
a new Big Ten, it would either have to be Oregon, USC, or
Penn State.
Hey, they got an easy schedule, I've kept hearing about their easy schedule, and I looked it up. It is pretty easy. But no, I do not think that. I mean, there is literally one team in this conference that has the chance to make it 4 different teams in 4 years, and that's the Oregon Ducks. But instead of being petty and taking a dump on the SEC, which we should do it at any opportunity, let's actually break down the conference a little bit more, because we got again the poll of the media poll, who's going to finish first. We got the preseason first team, second team. But I am curious, and I said this in the first segment, 503-864-6326. You can text in or chime in on the YouTube channel as well. Is there a team outside of the top tier? I'm saying this is the top tier. Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon. That's your 3. Is there a team outside of that top 3 that you think could propel into that tier by the end of the year? Or is there someone in that tier, even tier 2, USC, Penn State, maybe Wisconsin this year, got a good schedule. Is there someone in that tier 2 that you think can make that jump up there? Or who is your Penn State this year? Who's the team that's going to fall off and just absolutely blow up? Again, only a handful of teams have that chance this year, considering the talent and the preseason rankings, all that. But I want to hear some of those Big Ten predictions. Who's going to be the risers, fallers, surprises, or disappointments this year in the Big Ten? Break down Big Ten Media Days and the conference more next here on The Firm with Joe Fisher, Esquire. But first, Casey Smith with a sports update.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, it's day 2 of Big Ten Media Day in Chicago. Ohio State head coach Ryan Day just finished up at the podium. At 10:45, Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning will take the podium as he will be joined by Dante Moore, tight end Jamari Johnson, and defensive lineman Tatum Tuioti. They will answer questions about the upcoming season. Over to the NFL, if you missed it yesterday, as Browns cornerback Denzel Ward has reached an agreement on a 2-year, $62.2 million contract extension. The deal will also include $52.3 million in guarantees, making Ward the highest paid defensive back in the league as the cornerback market continues to reset. Atlanta Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has been sidelined in what head coach Kevin Stefanski denoted as a flare-up. In the meantime, Falcons are signing quarterback Cooper Rush after they released veteran quarterback Trevor Siemian with a non-football injury designation. And finally, your Portland Fire fell to Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces last night in Vegas. Final score in that one was 98-83. As Wilson, the 4-time MVP, she finished with 28 points, 14 boards, and 4 assists as the Aces moved their record against the Fire to 10-1 in head-to-head matchups. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm lowercase from the George McCoy Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube.
Welcome back into the firm. Joe Fisher III sitting in today. No Danny, no Patrick Harris. To pull the curtain back, and I don't know if you guys have talked about this on air or the other shows, but you might have noticed that our music coming back from commercial breaks is a little bit different recently. We used to have like actual like music. Well, with changes in our production, we decided to go royalty-free music. I think you even heard Isaac and Suk like comment on what the names of the songs are, because we have this like whole library of royalty-free music that we have access to.
There's a few that pop up during happy hour that me and Luke love to talk about.
That last one, I was like, is this the Chainsmokers? I feel like this is 2015 again.
Get some Avicii up in here.
I'm like, what the hell is this? That's been my favorite part about this new bump back excursion that we're on.
It's because I don't know what the songs are.
No.
Every single time I'm looking at these titles like, what? This could be something brand new.
Like, okay.
This could be something that I've never heard before. This could be something completely out of pocket. Let's roll with it.
Little fun fact for you. In that library that we have of all those music tracks, I mean, I'm telling you, hundreds of millions of different audio track sound effects. If you just go into the search bar and type the word fart, you're going to be occupied for the next 30 minutes to an hour at least.
You just get...
The amount of audio and sound effects and different things we have just of farts in our system, which you shouldn't be surprised if you've listened to Isaac and Suko over the years. But in our royalty-free library sound effect music system, hundreds of different fart songs, like Yankee Doodle, but just in farts. Like, it is, I don't know why.
Where someone is just pitching up and down the note?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why we have these things in the system. I'm glad we do.
People got a lot of time.
Maybe this was used on a show at one point. In the history, in the annals of Odyssey, at one point we played a fart version of Yankee Doodle. Maybe. I don't know. But it's in the system. It's in the system somewhere. And now I kind of want to try and find it so that way we can play it on air if we can track it down. But we'll stick with Big Ten Media Days, I guess. This text came in a few minutes ago, 503-864-6326. I think, honestly, that Indiana has a chance to fall out. Losing a franchise quarterback can be really hard. Thank you. Like, I feel like Indiana, again, they're the national champion, defending national champion. They crushed it in the transfer portal. Josh Hoover is a good quarterback. Are we just, like, glancing over the fact that Fernando Mendoza was like a once-in-a-lifetime player? Because I think that Indiana's going to – they're going to have a good season this year, but I think they're going to be like, damn, dude, I kind of miss Fernando. Damn, I think Fernando would have been able to make that play. I think we're going to run into a few of those moments this year with Indiana.
Were we more distracted in the Fernando of it all or the Signetti of it all? Because I remember coming back to
I think it was
day by day and going, Signetti has this team ready. Signetti is the one that is scheming out this – is going to make the second half adjustments. I remember always going back to Signetti being the guy. Yes, Mendoza made fantastic plays. It's the reason why he won a national championship and became the number one overall pick. But there's also a reason why Kirk Cousins is going to be starting.
Yeah. No,
the reason why Kirk Cousins got the nod and not Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah,
I think it's because Kurt Signetti allowed Fernando Mendoza a lot of leeway.
Yeah, but I mean, he was the Heisman winner.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best quarterback in the country, and he had multiple moments throughout the year, and especially towards the end where I hear what you're saying is that I feel like a good chunk of this season, regular season, into the championship, the Big Ten championship game, basically up until the Heisman.
And he's not the most talented Heisman that we've ever seen.
No.
He just went out there and balled out every single game.
And I think that it was up until that point, Signetti, and Fernando Mendoza, like over time, it was like, dude, he's probably going to win it. Like, who else is going to win it at this point?
Signetti, and then I think it was those last two games of the year.
The Heisman, the playoffs, and then it was like, dude, like Fernando.
Ohio State, and then
yeah, that one game that we don't want to talk about. And then the national championship. I mean, the game-winning touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
where he got helicoptered.
Yeah,
John Elway, like that
but
dude.
The drive in itself is what is he'd been doing that all year. He's been making all the great plays.
The drive, this is what early on in the season where I was like, dude, this team and this guy might be different, was the Duck game. Brandon Finney, pick 6, tie game, 2020, fourth quarter. Autzen Stadium's rockets going insane. What is he going to do after throwing a pick 6 like that?
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to march them right downfield, right down your throat, score, take the lead. And then we're going to add an extra field goal because my defense steps up. But I think that Josh Hoover's going to be good. As he said, Cignetti, he said he wins. They're going to win. They're going to win more games than they lose for sure this year. I think they will have a drop-off at quarterback from Mendoza to Hoover, and that's going to cost them a couple games. The quarterback, again, I know there's 11 guys on each side of the field. There's a lot of factors. The quarterback determines the outcome more than any other player on the field. And when you are losing Fernando Mendoza, Heisman winner, number 1 overall pick, the heart, drive, leader, he checks so many boxes, dude, that I think that we're looking at that Indiana roster and everything around Josh Hoover, and that could be the case where it's just Charlie Becker, all these guys that just
that receiving
elevate
core
him.
is still really elite.
They just elevate Josh Hoover to a level that we didn't see at TCU. I just don't think that will be the case. Are they going to be a good team? Are they going to be in it the whole year? Yeah. I'm thinking somewhere in that 9-3, 10-2 range, though. I really am. I think that this is either an Ohio State or Oregon conference to win this year. Ohio State literally has the best skill position group, I would say, outside of, quarterback's not, whether you want to say skill position, whatever. But, I mean, with Bo Jackson, Jeremiah Smith, you got Chris Henry, like Ohio State, shocker, loaded. Mm-hmm. Oregon, loaded. Quarterback, they're both solid there. The big question mark is Indiana, and if, one, they got all the right guys in transfer, it's just...
But can Hoover make the step that we saw
they need
Mendoza make the jump last
Exactly. And when I say this, it's not going to be like, oh my God, Hoover sucks and Indiana's 5-7. It's like, no, he's going to be good. He was good at TCU. I just don't think they're going to win the conference. I don't think they're going to be the best team in the conference. They're going to be really good. They're going to be a tough out. See him at like 10-2, 9-3, somewhere around there. And if you're Indiana, take it.
Again, Indiana had to go into Autzen and get that victory.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget how difficult that was. Indiana's schedule this year is a lot easier than it was last year.
Yeah. No, I'm intrigued.
So I think I'm with you there. That 10-2, that 9-3, maybe they do take a step back, but ultimately Hoover is still able to make the plays. Not quite as at a Mendoza level, but is able to make the plays enough where Indiana wins games down the stretch.
Well, and look, they're going to start off 3-0 because they play Sister Mary's School for the Blind in the first 3 weeks, North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky. You're probably going to start 5-0 because we play Northwestern and Rutgers at the very beginning. Possibly, more than likely, 6-0 because then you play Nebraska. Granted, it's in Nebraska, and they got Anthony Calandria now, better quarterback maybe than Dylan Raiola, to be determined. But I mean, hell, your first your three non-cons as Indiana goes are non-existent, and then your 2 games to start the conference are Northwestern and Rutgers.
Into the season, pending you stay healthy, you're already buying yourself a real good spot in the standings.
True, but this is where it can get tricky for them. Is that after that Nebraska game, that's in Nebraska, and again, what talent-wise, whatever Nebraska is, going to Nebraska is difficult. It is a difficult environment.
Mm-hmm.
Their back half of the season is tough.
Let's not forget how well Indiana fans traveled last season.
Yes, that's very true. Very true. Indiana and Nebraska, not far away. But I have a feeling that Cornhusker fans will not let that happen.
Yeah.
Back half of the season for Indiana, run through this real quick. So after those first 6 games, right? The 3 non-cons and then Northwestern, Rutgers, Nebraska. That's your first 6 games. Very well could be 5-1 with that one loss to Nebraska. Highly doubt it. Have them at 6-0. Let's just go there. You then play Ohio State. Go to Michigan. Host Minnesota. Whatever. Host USC. Go to Washington. And then you finish at home versus Purdue. Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Washington, all 4 of those games, I could see them winning this game. I could see them losing this game. Literally, they could lose or win all of those games. I think they're going to lose Ohio State, and they're going to drop another one of those games.
How dominant are they in those first 6 games of the year, or those first 7 games of the year, until they get to Ohio State, which is their first test?
Yeah, I think that even at home, Ohio State gets them. I think that Ohio State will get him there. And then you got to go to Michigan and Washington. Again, two very hard places to go. You're going to drop one of those. I'm calling it. They're losing Ohio State, and then they're losing either that Michigan or Washington game.
I think they lose the Washington. I don't think they lose to Michigan. I don't think Michigan scores enough points.
See, Michigan's a weird team, and I caught Dirt and Sprague. They were talking with Jake Butt this morning, and caught a couple things too. And what I love to hear what Jake Butt said about Bryce Underwood is that they're going to let him run this year. And he was 18 when he got on campus last year. Like, number one recruit. So the year didn't end as well as Bryce Underwood would have liked, but that dude slings it. He slings the rock quick out of the hand. Like, it was evident the first few games of the year. It was like, he's going to be a problem. And then things fell off the side of the cliff for Michigan. And I think that you're going to see a different Bryce Underwood this year, and you're going to see him more confident in himself in the passing game, because you're actually going to hopefully have a good offense now and a team that cares about that. And then you're going to have him get to play a little bit more like himself, where he's running around and using his legs a bit more, because that's what he wants to do, and that's what Kyle Whittingham wants him to do as well. So Michigan, they could drop that game at Michigan too. If Bryce Underwood at that point in the season is playing up to the level that he was marked as a number one recruit in the country, watch out. They could lose that game at Michigan and at Washington.
There's just a lot of smoke around Michigan right now that I think they don't want to be in the limelight. That might just be. I think Michigan doesn't want to be the focal point right now. I think they want to just play. They want to just get their return. They want to get their ROI and on the year, and they want to kind of punt down the line.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on this because, again, they're still Michigan, and they still want to win. But there's a lot of bad smoke coming out of Michigan right now, and maybe they just want to kick the can down the road a little bit.
Well, I will say what they have done a good job of since the Sharon Moore news and all that story that came out. The best thing that they've done is two things, actually, that they've done very well. One, hire Kyle Whittingham, and two, shut the hell up and don't make any more noise for the rest of the offseason.
And Ward Manuel, here's $7 million, so you can be quiet.
Yes, please, for the love of God. Let's just get through the rest of this offseason, summer, and just get to the football season. So Michigan is another one that's in that kind of tier 2 range that it's like, are they going to be the one that makes a jump? I'd be intrigued to look at their schedule here in the break to see what that looks like. But we got plenty of other things to get through in the Big Ten here as far as teams. Also, jersey patches. So hot right now. If you want to take this commercial break, you can jump over to watch Dan Lanning as he is he is doing his press conference right now. We're not going live to that. It's not happening. So you can tune into that and then come right back here in a couple minutes, because we will return with The Firm with Joe Fisher Esquire on the Fan Sports Network.
On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Welcome back in the firm of Fisher Esquire here today. Big Ten Media Days going on. A couple things here that I wanted to get to because I saw this show up on the text line. Someone said, did you guys talk about Drew, as in Drew Holiday, going to Philly? I have been listening, but meetings have been getting in the way today. So I was like, what? I go on old Twitter, the X, and just search Drew Holiday's name. These are the two Twitter accounts that I found with anything about Drew Holiday and a potential buyout. One tweet from @bballground. @bballground. And the other tweet that I see about potential buyout is coming from a account named Mistress Dividend.
Oh.
@MistressDivvy. And her bio says, paralegal, baker, stock nerd, building wealth with the 8 different stock market call letter signs for companies. So Mistress Dividend on Twitter apparently dropping Mistress Dividend bombs that we didn't know. How about that? Yeah, there is. How about this? We'll go to a little bit more of a trusted source. This comes from Casey Holdall. He says on Twitter, people don't actually think they're buying out Drew, right? There's 4 different reasons why there's no chance that's happening. First and foremost being these guys ain't paying you to not play. Good point. Good point there, Casey. All right. And last little bit of note here on the Big Ten Media Days, news, everything like that, is the Big 12 getting absolutely pointed at and laughed at because of their Monster Energy Drink jersey patch deal coming on the heels, these 2 jersey patch deals coming on the heels of that Big 12 deal. That's Ohio State and now Notre Dame also going to be getting jersey patch as well. And I think the Notre Dame one's going to be even more than what Ohio State's was. Ohio State, I believe, was $17 million, if I'm remembering correctly. And then Notre Dame, I don't think the figures have been released on it yet, but they will have somewhere in the 18 to 20 million annually, and that's SoFi. That's going to have the patch on the Notre Dame jersey. One of the funnier things
between 18 to 20 million.
Yes, I just
according to the New York Times.
Just said that, Casey. I've done that in that chair so many times.
I'm trying to find it for you.
And I love it when it happens on this end because I'm just like, yes, dude. Yes. Yes, 18 to 20 million. The one jersey patch, I don't know if you saw this earlier this week, Casey. There was one team in the Big 12 that announced their own jersey patch. So they're saying, hey,
I did see this.
We're gonna do our own thing. It is BYU. BYU is going to have their own jersey patch on their sports. Do you know what the sponsor and the company is going to be on that patch?
That's going to be BYU, isn't it?
Not just BYU Continuing Education.
Right.
So all of the BYU jerseys will also have a logo in the upper left that just says BYU Continuing Education. So who gets the commission on that deal? BYU? Does BYU pay BYU and then BYU makes the deal also loses money at the same time?
The church gets the money.
You know who's getting paid out of this? Joseph Smith.
Probably.
Well, Big 12 getting absolutely shamed and embarrassed for the deal that they struck with Monster Energy Drink. And this is the thing. It's like people are saying like Ohio State's deal, Notre Dame's deal. Yeah, obviously 2 of the bigger brands. Like there are Big 12. TCU, Baylor, Texas Tech, those are 3 Texas schools. You're telling me those 3 schools alone combined wouldn't be able to get $10 million, just those 3 schools together? Like I was talking about with someone else, I'm like, what would, like Arizona State, what would their athletics program command for jersey patch? Just Arizona State. $3 million? $2 million?
5?
4, 5? Like, let's think about this. Big 12, like if I was a school in the Big 12, I don't know what the jersey patch contract deals. If the Monster one, I didn't look into it. It's like, no, this is the only one you get. And if you want to add another, it needs to be your continuing education school that you can throw on there, I guess. Your graduate program patch.
Do they have a non-compete in some type of way?
Yeah,
or
online education, Or
is it just going to pivot to full NASCAR?
So that's where I'm like, if I'm a Big 12 school, I'm like, wait, so you signed this deal for Monster Energy Drink. I can't sell our own deal, our own patch or anything like that. And these other schools are selling their own patches and getting how much exactly? Oh. So what are we doing? Who's running things? Who's making these deals? Who do I got to talk to? Who's your manager?
Who do I have to talk to?
My God. But this is the beginning of the jersey patch era in college sports. I do like Oregon's jersey patch. Did you see what they're doing with theirs?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, the Oregon Ducks, they have this Nike check mark on it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And, hell, can they just put a second one on there? Phil's like, all right, I'll buy the other jersey patch. And just throw another Nike check on there. Or Jordan logo, whatever. How about just Phil's face? Just Phil Knight's face on there.
At this point.
Why not, right? All right. There goes hour number 1. Gone in a flash. Hour number 2. Want to talk about some Blazer Moda stuff because we finally got some good news. I feel like this is the longest we have gone without any news.
We're going to have to change that number behind you, Joe.
I guess so. We might have to make that a 2. How about that? Well, we might have to wait until later tonight. Let's wait till 7.
We'll sit on it.
I'll let Dirt and Sprague add the 2 onto that, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's talk about some Blazer stuff just because since I did my show on Saturday to today, there's been some things that have come out. We are going to talk about, unfortunately, my quarterback.
It's my quarterback.
Tony, listen, don't want to make light of it. One of the better DUI videos, body cam photos that has ever come out.
He's just trying to stretch, man.
And
multiple back surgeries. He's
crappy
just
moment.
Trying to stretch.
Tony's got some quotes in there that are just.
Tony's got some great quotes in there.
Damn it. Speaking of quarterbacks, just looking at the quarterbacks of the Big Ten and college football, also have this be basically a new faces, new places segment. Because as we live in the transfer world and sports world, there's 30 new coaches in college football, plenty of new quarterbacks, new DCs, OCs. So I'd love to play the whole game of oh yeah, that's where that guy went. Oh yeah, that's where he is. Because I feel like this is the time on the calendar where you got to start doing that, remembering where the hell everybody went. Hour number 2 also got Web Gems. Hour number 3, possibly the worst hire in this place and the best version of this specific sports moment. I will have both of those in the second hour. But let's get to the most recent Blazer news. Good news. Moda Center news. All of it good news for now. Do that next. Hour number 2, The Firm with Joe Fisher Esquire coming up here, Fan Sports Network.
So
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, it's day 2 of Big Ten Media Day in Chicago as Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning, he just wrapped up at the podium. Later on, he'll be joined by quarterback Dante Moore, tight end Jamari Johnson, and defensive lineman Tatum Tuioti to answer questions about the upcoming season. Some NFL news for you as Browns safety Grant Delpit is signing a 3-year extension worth up to $16 million a year and includes $35 million in guarantees, tying Delpit to Cleveland until the 2029 season. Atlanta Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has been sidelined in what head coach Kevin Stefanski denoted as a flare-up. In the meantime, Falcons are signing quarterback Cooper Rush after they have released veteran quarterback Trevor Siemian on a non-football injury designation. And finally, your Portland Fire fell to Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces last night in Vegas. Final score on that one was 98-83. As Wilson, the 4-time MVP, she finished with 28 points, 14 boards, and 4 assists, as the Aces moved their record against the Fire to 10-1 in head-to-head matchups. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of dirt and Danny Marang.
We both had the same look on our face at the same time, like, are we both stroking?
The firm of Harris and Marang on 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back in hour number 2. The firm. The defendant has decided to switch counsels from Harris and Marang to Joe Fisher Esquire. How are we doing today? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're, what's today? Wednesdays. Going great. You can chime in. 503-864-6326. Someone texted in, Esquire means you're a lawyer, Joe. Yeah, that's the point, right? The show is the firm of Harris Marang. Joe Fisher Esquire is now in. I'm running this bitch. All right. I am not an Esquire, by the way. I am not. I did not pass the bar. I've never attempted the bar. If you want a good YouTube rabbit hole, though, if you want to feel some feels, watch videos of people passing the bar. It'll get you. It'll get you. Someone will be cutting onions in the same room. Can you imagine that feeling of passing the bar?
That's probably a pretty good feeling.
Probably, the best feeling of all time. Kim Kardashian, how did it feel? Oh, wait.
Probably not the same feeling.
That's one of my favorite things, is that she tried to become a lawyer and, failed the bar, 4 times. Yeah, I'm not shocked, all right? All right. Hour number 2 here. If you want to chime in, 503-864-6326. Also on the YouTube chats. Someone on the YouTube chat saying, I hope Danny and Patrick cleaned out the fridge before they left. No worries, because I have my own mini fridge at my desk, and it's sick, all right? It's got LED lights on it, all right? It's like a rave.
It is
awesome.
Pretty cool.
Thank you, all right? Got a good deal on it, too. Even though the guy who delivered it to the office left it on our front porch, front steps overnight, which I'm shocked that it made it in the building, honestly. I am shocked that I even got that fridge. But I digress. Portland, Moda Center. We had some news that was good, dare I say, the other day. It's funny because, Twitter and X is a shell of its former self. As I'm on it right now, and I'm on that damn For You tab, so I'll switch it over. And that's what you got to do. You got to switch from the For You tab over to following. And I believe it was Monday night. I was at home. I was barbecuing, smoking some ribs, smoking a kielbasa as well, some broccoli, mac and cheese. Great dinner. And I jump on the phone, and I see Jason Quick update. Update to the update. Update to the update to the first update. And I think Isaac Suk said it best. He definitely drank that night. Because it was a back and forth between the city and the Blazers. And as we have seen over the last couple weeks, the term sheet was thrown out there, to which a quote was made by an anonymous Blazers source that it was a non-starter. That, essentially, no, we don't like any of this. And that was fed to the media, whereas the city's then like, okay, well, do you want to come to this meeting on whatever day that it has scheduled to, like, talk about it and tell us what you don't like and what you do want? Crickets. Okay, well, the Blazers, the city said, and this is Jamie Dunphy, we have no substantive information, probably said that word wrong, about what they want, what they don't want, or what a successful partnership with the city, county, and state would look like. Yikes. Not a good quote. That was at 4:01 p.m. that Jason Quick tweeted that out. Then at 4:37, 36 minutes, he says, story about to be updated. President Dwayne Hankins says the Blazers have not made a decision about whether to attend and are figuring out a best way to move forward and show up on Thursday. Tomorrow, they were going to have that work session, I believe. And yes, that's right, the 30th. So that was 36 minutes after that. And then after that, there was another quote from Dwayne Hankins that said, and I'm trying to find the exact one, basically saying that we do not want this happening in the media. We want to tone down the rhetoric, and I want to get a deal done, is what Hankins said. Found the quote. I'd like to turn the rhetoric down and not have these conversations in the media, to be honest. It's not helpful. It's not effective. I just want to get a deal done, and this is not the way for us to get a deal done. The best part of that quote is that I just want to get a deal done. Thank God. Thank God there is someone from the Blazers organization that has uttered those words. I want to get a deal done. Perfect. That is some of the best news we've gotten in a while. The whole not have these conversations in the media is laughable, I think, considering that the Blazers were the ones that said the deal term sheet was a non-starter. Well, you went to the media and said that. You didn't go to the city and say that.
You cried wolf first.
Like, you don't want to have these conversations in the media? Well, then have the conversations with the people that you're supposed to be having the conversations with. So, but all things considered over the last month and a half, and I'll tell you where I've been with this, Casey, is that I don't know if it's just getting older, being in this medium for over a decade now, maybe listening to Isaac Ropp too much, but it's just to tell me when I should care about this, because the last month and a half has just been a lot of we're gonna lose the team.
Not my
What's
team.
happening? And I've just sat here the whole time. But what cracks me up is,
no, we suck again.
All this yelling, freaking out, bringing in city councilors for interviews, on the phone, talking to whoever, calling other city, whatever the hell. It always comes down to, yeah, deal's probably going to get done. Then what are we talking about? Like, what are we freaking out about? Every damn person, I feel like, on this subject that matters, it always ends up coming down to yeah, but a deal's probably going to get done. I'm like, okay, then why? Why are we?
So if a deal's probably going to get done, then can we just cut to the chase and get the deal done and work out?
It's totally fair. And as a fair point, and I see both sides of this argument where it's
100%, because everyone
Dundon and the Blazers are like, dude, we agree. We were all good back in March. Now you guys want no.
Everybody wants their own constituents to be happy.
Everybody wants their moment in the sun right now with this, and it's just no matter what it is with the Blazers. And I get it, dude. I'm a Blazers fan. To me, I am a part of that Blazers fandom where it's just Craig the Rhino Smith. I don't care that you played for the Blazers. Joel Brisbilla, cool. I'm glad that you were here for a couple of years.
Well, that's the vanilla gorilla.
This is what I'm talking about. How dare you? Do not be smirched. Dude, freaking CJ Ellaby. Who did we get rid of a couple of years ago? We cut someone and waived him, released. Maybe it was Jabari Walker. And the outcry from Blazers fans, it's just any person that wears the logo, that is on the broadcast, it's just we have to throw all their support at them, and there's nothing that they do wrong ever, whether it's like I said, anybody associated with the organization. Someone from the outside comes in and is actually like, no, cut that, no, don't like that. Clearly doesn't care about this area, doesn't have any connection to it. He wants it as a business. I see all that, and I'm like, all right, how am I going to get mad about this over something I can't control? I ain't got the billions of dollars to buy this team. This dude did. He is a savage, clearly. I say, and I don't think this is a redeeming quality by any means, if someone can make that fortune in subprime auto lending, the sleaziest of sleaziest sales there is, he is clearly doing something right? He is doing something right in the wrong, worse industry, right? And he has been sued. He is like, again, Tom Dundon is not the best figure to be like trying to hold him up. But I'm just sick of the complacency of this franchise in this city to just be happy with a competitive team. Boy, I'm happy we made the playoffs.
Happy with mediocrity.
Boy, we got a scrappy team, don't we? And it's like, no, I want a 2 seed. I want a 1 seed. I want to turn on ESPN. Who is a contender for the NBA Finals? The Portland Trail Blazers. I'm loving the Blazers right now. I don't see who can stop them right now. Those conversations don't happen, haven't happened for what, 30 years? Maybe sprinkles of it.
I don't think they've ever happened in my lifetime, Joe.
When the Lillard, 3 seed, who then got swept by the Pelicans in the first round, maybe around there. It was, Blazers, they're interesting.
Yeah, but even that Pelicans team,
they swept
the Pelicans, you were still going to have to run into the Warriors in the next round.
Exactly. So it's just like this whole everything we have done Blazers-wise over like it was all for the right reasons. Everything on Saturday probably went a little bit long about it, but it was like the news about the Calabro and Neil Everett getting let go, both legends. Like, and I said on Saturday, I'm like, dude, those guys, what they do in 1 year is more than I will ever do in my media career. Plain and simple. As a guy who has no affiliation to this city and who Calabro and Neil Everett mean to the Pacific Northwest, whatever, he looked at his spreadsheet, saw we're paying Neil Everett how much for him to show up 8 times, 12 times a year. I bet you, Blazer fans, if they would have fired Neil Everett, got rid of him, got rid of his contract, and didn't say anything, there was no report, you would have not noticed. You wouldn't have noticed. You would have gone all last season and be like, hey, is Neil Everett still a part of the broadcast? Maybe I saw him. I guarantee that would have happened. The Calabro one I get. Michael Holton one I feel bad for. The Travis Demers one is totally effed up. I get a lot of this. I'm sick of the complacency. And with this news and hearing that they want to get a deal done, which everybody has been saying essentially the whole time, like, yeah, there's going to get it. This is what it's like, yeah, this is what was going to happen. It got really ugly. We were talking about $600 million. That's a lot of effing money. Mm-hmm. In my sales job, I'm not going to have that rhetoric. I'm not going to say the words and have the tone and phrases and the things that I say. What's happening in these negotiations, I understand. In my sales job, I would never talk this way because we're not talking about $600 million of public funds and taxes and all this, right? So none of this surprised me. And then we get to this point that I just want to get a deal done. Yeah, that's what everybody's been saying. So this whole freaking out over the last month and a half, it's just like, it got to a point where it's just nauseating. And now I'm freaking out over people freaking out. Fantastic.
And now people's comments are, again, I just want to get a deal done. Is that starting to sound like desperation?
A little bit. And I think that the NBA told them, you get a deal done. Mm-hmm. You go into that meeting Thursday, you get a damn deal done. All right. That does it. From one of my most favorite teams, the Portland Blazers, to one of my most favorite athletes of all time in one of his lowest moments.
It's my quarterback.
Tony, what are you doing, bud? All right, it's time to talk about one Antonio Ramiro Romo, Tony Romo, and the OWI, not DUI, OWI video conviction. All the details coming out. We'll get to that next here. The Firm, Joe Fisher, Esquire, Fan Sports Network.
The biggest
This song's called Gumbo in the House. I'm getting a little bit more like Mexican accordion band. You know what I'm talking about? Like mariachi.
This is out the bayou.
Yeah, with now that the guitar comes in a little bit, but the accordion there was definitely giving me what's that one? I mean, there's tons of those bands.
Polka?
Not polka. The like mariachi bands, you know? I feel like there's one I have specifically in my mind. I used to DJ weddings back in the day, and I got like Hispanic weddings, every Mexican, you know, whatever, every once in a while, and they would ask for Spanish music, and I would have to go and figure out Spanish music, like who are the popular. They would give me some guidance on who some artists are and stuff like Pesa Pluma, you know, things like that. But I was lost. It was a lot of that, just mariachi, accordion, fast pace.
A lot of corridos tumbados.
Sure, yeah.
That just means fast guitar.
C, yes. Are you fluent? You fluent?
No.
Oh, okay. You sounded very confident in that.
I got a lot of homies who speak fluent.
My favorite thing is being able to, and I do this mostly with my girlfriend because I think it's starting to like annoy her, is calling out specific words in Spanish, like, well, you know, like at a restaurant or something like that. I'm like, oh wow, this is really good, good salad. Me gusta lechuga. I like lettuce. And she goes, why? Why? I'm like, because I know what lettuce means in Spanish, and I wanted to use it, damn it. All right? Or if you're listening to a like conversation Spanish, I'll be like tuning in. I'm like,
that's what I'm the best at, is I'll listen for one word.
And mantequilla. That means butter.
I heard butter.
That's butter right there. Bam. I know Spanish. Well, it sounded like Tony Romo was possibly speaking another language the other night because...
Have you watched the full video yet?
I haven't watched the full video. No. I've seen bits, but
I spent last night. Well, let's say I forced my girlfriend to watch it as well because I wanted a second opinion.
I'm probably watching all of it later tonight, to be honest. But he was arrested for operating while intoxicated in Wisconsin. I thought it was like under the suspicion or something like that. OWI, whatever. I don't know. But
it says former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo was arrested overnight in Milwaukee on suspicion of drunken driving, according to ABC affiliate WISN. Romo is charged with operating while intoxicated.
Gotcha. Okay. So he was at a golf tournament earlier that day. What's funny was there was video that came from that day earlier, and he was like working with a little kid, showing him how to like drop back with a football and like what your first step has to be in your drop back. And I'm like, oh, he is hammered. Like, if you're on the golf course post golf round and you're working on your drop back step or showing a 7-year-old your drop back as a quarterback, you're hammered. You're drunk. All right. I mean, I get at least 4 to 5 drop steps, left tackle drop steps in a golf round, walking down the fairway, and I'm probably a few drinks in by that point, all right? But that's when my drop step is at its best. When I'm well lubricated and the hips are oily, my God, get me on the left side of the line for any team, all 32.
I'm good for like one game a year. Maybe Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl game. That's all I'm good for.
My drop step is insane, all right? I don't have the frame for the drop step, but yeah, Romo, he had himself a time, and he was pulled over, and there's plenty of body cam footage of his interaction with the police, including, I don't know what sobriety test they were having him do, but to the point where he asks, can he stretch, and starts doing full-on, like, hip flex, grabs the railing on the front of the cop car.
Grabs the grill.
To start like doing hip flexor exercises to open up his hips and get all stretched for. I don't know what field sobriety test they're doing. I don't know if they're like, hey, we're going to have you do the combine again, you know, just to prove you're sober. I don't know what he was stretching for, but he was stretching. There was another point where I think it was at the end of the sobriety test where the officer, she says, sir, can you turn around for me, please? And he says, so did I pass the test? Sir, turn around, please. No, I didn't, huh?
So it seems as though he just...
And just the look on his face, too, when she repeats, turn around for me, goes, eyes go up, like, no, I didn't. Like, I'm effed.
Again, my feed is just full of body cam footage. Sometimes I love to just watch body cam footage just to see the other cops' reactions. And while the other cops' reactions, the entire ordeal of this all going on, you could see the other cop looking... He's just looking around for someone to make eye contact with him so he can give them the nod because he's sitting there breathing heavy, not liking what he's seeing out of Tony.
Yeah. And the fact that this happened in Wisconsin, hasn't Green Bay already hurt Tony Romo enough? In the state of Wisconsin, hurt Tony Romo enough? Do you think that's what this is? The cops are like, hey, you know who that is? That's Tony Romo. Oh my God. Remember when Dez caught that ball and they said that they didn't catch the ball?
Isn't he from there?
That's right. I don't know, honestly. I know that he went to one of the Illinois schools, Eastern or Northern. I think Eastern Illinois is where he went to school, but I don't know where he's from. Italy? His name's Tony Romo. Antonio Romo at that.
Okay. He was born in San Diego.
San Diego. There you go. Yeah.
But he went to Eastern Illinois.
Again, I just don't understand what all the stretching was for. Like, that is a telltale sign. I'm not a police officer, right? But if I pull someone over to do a sobriety test and they start stretching, it's like, you know what? I think we're done here. I think we can just take you.
Correction, he was born in San Diego, but it says that he went to high school in Burlington, Wisconsin.
How about that? Wow. So even after all he did for the state of Wisconsin in high school, being a stud, that state still stabbed him in the back and didn't say that was a catch. Unbelievable. Romo also, I don't think you watched the whole thing. Did he ever pull the "Do you know who I am" card?
Not once.
That's my
favorite.
That's my quarterback.
My favorite part of it is he initially gets out of the car, and one of the first questions that the female officer asked him, "Do you have any head injuries?" And Tony Romo grabs his wrist, does the head tilt to the side. He goes, maybe over the years, but not any as of recently. But the look on his face is pretty priceless because that's she doesn't know who I am.
Well, dude.
I'm Tony Romo. Anyone who knows that I'm Tony Romo knows that I've probably got a lot of head injuries.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is his back injuries. There's one point where he's sitting in the back of the police car, and you can see it on his face. And if you have ever been in the back of a police car, I have been only once in my life, and that's because I was a dumb kid doing dumb things, and the cops decided to drive me home, which was very kind of them. But those back seats,
kind cops.
Oh my God, they are plastic, crappy.
Again, his knees are rubbing up against the glass the entire time. He looks very uncomfortable back there.
You can see, and he's even
struggling to get out of the vehicle.
He says, he's like, can I please just like swing my legs around?
He has at one point to remove the cuffs just so he could get out of the vehicle because of how uncomfortable his back is.
Yeah, he failed the one leg stand test.
He failed.
He did apparently.
He failed all the tests.
He apparently made many references to "I used to play in the NFL." I don't think he did the name drop.
Mm-hmm.
He also said, "I might incorporate this into PT."
Those were his exact words as he that was when he was doing the leg up. So he was going, I'm going to incorporate this into the PT. The entire time he's kind of ignoring the cop's instruction. It wasn't great.
Dude, this guy, his whole demeanor this whole time, it's like if anybody acts this way with police officers during something like this, they're drunk. Like, he is chumming it up. It's like, Tony, stop talking,
when
dude.
He starts yucking it up with a cop that doesn't.
And then he walks over. He's like, "No, dude, can you please do this, please?" It's just like, "Oh yeah, sorry."
Again, when you're starting to talk to the officer who was not the arresting officer, you're not helping your case.
Am I right, guys? Huh? Like, sir, can you just please stand on one leg? Tony, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I was so happy for Tony when he got the commentating gig because everybody loved him. After hating him for so long, everybody loved Tony Romo, and it was like, dude, this guy's awesome. And then for whatever reason, he got weird on the mic. Jim, stop predicting the plays, which I don't know if that was the league saying stop.
That was the league probably saying You can't.
And it totally killed the vibe.
That's because that's Tony's brain.
And nobody likes Tony anymore. And then this happens. It's heartbreaking. That dude was a nothing from Eastern Illinois, got thrown into the game, save us from Drew Bledsoe and Vinny Testaverde and Drew Henson and all these other random guys.
Kittner.
Chad Hutchinson, whoever, please. Tony Romo, didn't even know you were on the team. Go. Oh, my God. This guy's actually, holy hell. Whoa.
Ball.
Hey. That's why I love that guy. That dude was expected to do Jack S for the Cowboys and had some of the most thrilling moments of my Cowboys fandom and some of the worst at that as well. And
Is
now,
he a top 5 Cowboys quarterback?
yes. Look at the records book. And I know we're in a past.
I'm asking, is he third on that list?
He is behind Aikman and Staubach.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That was my question.
Yeah, that is because he doesn't have the championships. But, dude, he owns damn near every record.
But you
in
have
Cowboys.
Romo over Dak.
Let's take a break, shall we?
Let's do it.
That's a good. You got me there. I'm stunned by that one. Take a break. Get back on the clock here. The Firm with Joe Fisher, Casey Smith with Sports Update.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, it's day 2 of Big Ten Media Day in Chicago. Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning, he took the podium moments ago. Later on, he will be joined by quarterback Dante Moore, tight end Jamari Johnson, and defensive lineman Tatum Tuioti. They will answer questions about the upcoming season. Some NFL news for you, as Browns safety Grant Delpit is signing a 3-year extension worth up to $16 million a year and includes a $35 million in guarantees. That ties Delpit to Cleveland until the 2029 season. Atlanta Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has been sidelined in what head coach Kevin Stefanski denoted as a flare-up. In the meantime, Falcons are signing quarterback Cooper Rush after they released veteran quarterback Trevor Siemian with a non-football injury designation earlier this morning. And finally, your Portland Fire fell to Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces last night in Vegas. Final score on that one was 98-83. As Wilson, the 4-time MVP, she finished with 28 points, 14 boards, and 4 assists. The Aces now move their record against the Fire to 10-1 in head-to-head matchups. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Laura Case from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan
Welcome back into the firm. Yeah, TMZ also just reporting about like 30-something minutes ago that there was an open bottle of alcohol in Tony Romo's car. Because the video, it was like they were debating over like shooters, like birdie shots, and they said that they found some in the car. And then he asked, she's like, well, are they open? Because he probably had some unopened ones from non-birdies that happened on the course. I don't usually keep my empties from my birdie bottles in my bag. They usually go directly in the garbage after that or whatever. So, but yeah, TMZ saying that there was a open bottle of alcohol, whether it was a shooter or beer or whatever. But yeah, I'm seeing the video again of him showing the kid some tips on like drop back. And like what you're supposed to do, like post snap, dropping back. And I'm like, dude, I've done that plenty of times myself too, like 6 beers in. Like when you get enough alcohol in me, I'm like Danny Marang. I can do any athletic endeavor. Athletic endeavor. Doesn't matter. Where are we at? Let me look at my show sheet. Oh, is this Web Gems? Or is that next?
Web Gems is later on.
Oh boy,
next.
We're that off on the clock,
yeah.
huh? Oh, dear God.
Let's fix this show.
What the hell's wrong with me? Well, this is actually good. I'm looking at my show sheet, and this is why I'm the pro I am, because I'm going from quarterback to quarterback. And I wanted to talk about some of the quarterbacks in new places around college football, because I had mostly Power 4. I don't really care about who's starting for James Madison now. Instead of Alonzo Barnett III, who I believe is now the starting quarterback at... He transferred from James Madison. Damn it. He was the James Madison quarterback, and he is now... I'm going to take 2 guesses here, Casey.
Keep shooting.
He either went to Central Florida or Auburn.
Which one are you locking in?
I'm going to lock in Central Florida. I feel like James Madison to Central Florida or to Auburn is a huge jump. Give me Central Florida.
You can put it on the board.
Let's go! Damn
Alonzo
right.
Barnett is the starting quarterback for the UCF Knights.
God, I love that. During this transfer portal era, when you can remember where the James Madison quarterback transfers to, you got to celebrate. You got to give yourself a pat
Little
on the back for that one. Yes. I mean, if you would have told me where Jalen Rayner, the Iowa State quarterback, played at last year, wouldn't have been able to tell you. He played at Arkansas State, by the way. Gio Lopez, remember him? He was gonna take North Carolina to a winning season with Bill Belichick. Well, he transferred immediately because that program is garbage. He'll be at Wake Forest. Some other transfers and places in faces in new places, and this is one of my favorite ones because of the connection locally. And it seems like no matter what this kid does, he always finds his way back at Autzen. Aiden Childs, former Oregon State quarterback, former Michigan State quarterback.
Easy ride.
He is now the Northwestern quarterback.
Don't get me fired up.
With Chip Kelly as his offensive coordinator.
Of course he is.
And both of those guys are coming to Autzen. I believe that's on Halloween. I think Northwestern's going to be in town. So Aiden Childs.
So I have to vote for the Ducks?
Yes.
So you're telling me that I am forced to vote for the Ducks because my former quarterback transferred to Michigan State alongside my former coach.
And not only that, then left Michigan State also. So it was like you made the wrong decision twice. Damn.
Tough.
Tough. And Aiden Childs.
Because I like Childs. He was a nice kid.
Despite being on his third team, he will have to play in Autzen for a third time in his career.
Yeah, good luck with that.
That'll be fun. Wisconsin. Good little schedule for them this year. I see them at maybe like 8 wins this year. I was looking at the schedule this morning. Their quarterback coming from Old Dominion, Colton Joseph. Very Wisconsin quarterback-like name. I think that fits. There's plenty of others on this list. I mean, we could keep going here. I mean, West Virginia got a kid from Oklahoma who's been waiting in the wings.
I mean, you got a hometown kid in Sam Levitt who's going to be the starting quarterback at LSU.
That's true. Yeah, it's one of the top transfers in the Power 4 there. This is an interesting one that I'm going to keep an eye on. as the season starts and progresses. It's not one that I think too many particularly care about, but I just think the connection is interesting because Louisville's quarterback is Lincoln Kienholz, and he transferred from Ohio State. Jeff Brom is an awesome coach. This has been doing great at Louisville, and now he's getting a kid who committed to Ohio State and is now going to be your quarterback. Color me intrigued. Color me intrigued there. Same thing with Kentucky. They're getting a kid from Notre Dame that's transferring. Austin Simmons at Missouri, he was Ole Miss's starting quarterback, and then Trinidad Chambliss came in, took the job from him essentially once he came back from injury. Austin Simmons was being hyped up last year. He's at Missouri with a few other kids at Ole Miss. So I'm intrigued. Missouri is going to be probably a top 15 team to start the year. They will be top 25. I would not be surprised. They got a lot of talent there. And some other guys on this list. I mean, we're starting to get to some of the more well-known ones. Bo Peribula is going to be in Virginia this year, going from Missouri. Went from Penn State, Missouri to Virginia. Who else we got on this list here? Oh, my boy, Alonzo Barnett III, UCF, baby. Now I feel like I have to be like a Alonzo Barnett III stan.
You have to.
Yeah, like
that's got to be your guy.
Let's go, Golden Knights, UCF. What else we got here? That's not a transfer. Anthony Colandrea. This is in the Big Ten. I mentioned this earlier in the show. Anthony Colandrea is going to be at Nebraska, transferring from UNLV. He had a very strong year last year for UNLV. Intrigued to see what happens there. When we look at the Big Ten media days and faces and in new places, the Nebraska one with Colandrea is intriguing.
Got another one that we've already mentioned on the show. Got Josh Hoover, transferred from TCU.
Rocco Beck to Penn State. The whole Penn State thing is very intriguing because it's an easy schedule, new coach, new quarterback. Super intriguing to see what happens there in Penn State. Because, this could be a huge turnaround season immediately for them just because of that favorable schedule.
Again, and also what it looks like over at Virginia Tech for the same reasons why we think about what Penn State's going to do. Well, Virginia Tech had Penn State's guy, and now let's see what they do with it.
Byron Brown from South Florida made waves at Auburn. So SEC there. Keep note. This one cracked me up. This isn't a new name in a new place or anything, but on this list of the power forward quarterbacks, Noah Fafita for Arizona. That dude has been in Arizona for the last 8 years. He is pulling the Van Wilder route right now. There is no way he is taking more than 4 credits at a time. What is the eligibility rules for Arizona? Because it seemingly does not apply to Noah Fafita. That dude has been in 2 different conferences for the last 10 years, for God's sakes. He's super senior, right? 5th year?
He's only 23.
Only 23? You should have a job outside of college by now. Go work for Enterprise, rent a car or something. They give you the tools, all right? Some other...
This will be his 5th season.
5th season? Gotcha. So, yeah, last year. One of the biggest new faces and new places, and we're just like a month out from it, dude. And I think Duck fans need to get ready for an absolutely raucous environment in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Because Drew Messmaker, he is very good quarterback. And North Texas brought everybody, including the coach. The coach's name, it's spacing me right now, came from North Texas, brought everyone. There's some juice in Stillwater that they think they can make this, they can change things around pretty quickly. And that home game against Oregon.
Eric Morris.
Eric Morris, thank you. Of all the Oregon Duck games, home and away, the Oklahoma State game is either the first, actually I think it's the second highest ticket price on the Ducks schedule. Every home and away game, taking it all into account. That Oklahoma State ticket is a high price. That place is going to be rocking in Stillwater. And Drew Messmaker is one of the best quarterbacks that's in a new place in the country. And the Ducks fans, they get to see him right away. So some new quarterbacks, new places. I very much encourage you to go through this list at least like once a week just so you can refresh your memory. Again, I got to do this with the OCs, the DCs, and college football and NFL. It's that time. Start remembering what happened with all these transactions. Players, fantasy football's coming up soon. You got to figure out who the hell's. Totally forgot Michael Pittman's at Pittsburgh with the Steelers. And I'm like,
yes, sir.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You got to start picking up on those things. So, take a quick break. It's time for Web Gems, and there is someone in the NFL that could end up this season with 2 rings. How? We explain that next. Web Gems coming up. Fan Sports Network, The Firm. Web Gems here on The Firm with Joe Fisher Esquire, Fan Sports Network. Someone texted in on the fan text line, I like Jeff Braun, but awesome is a bridge too far. And I will push back because Jeff Brom won games at Purdue that he shouldn't have won. He's won games at Louisville that he shouldn't have won. That dude just lurks in the dark, and then he strikes. He's like a fer-de-lance. You know what a fer-de-lance snake is?
I do not.
It is the most dangerous, one of the most venomous snakes, but it's a coward. It sits and it waits, and it's in the dark, and then at opportune time, it strikes, boom, done. You're like, death is almost certain. And I feel like that's just Jeff Brom. He's a fer-de-lance viper. He just sits, he hangs out in the back, doesn't really do a whole lot, and then Ohio State comes to Purdue and he wins. Or Miami comes to Louisville and he wins. Or Clemson comes to or how about this? They go to Clemson and they win. So Jeff Brom to me, he's not like a top tier coach, but his career arc to me is just fascinating. Love Jeff Brom. Web Gems. A couple quotes coming out from Media Day. I have 2 Web Gems here, Ducks related. Do we have the audio, Casey? Because Dan Lanning was doing his media day, finished at the press conference, all that. And as he does, he chatted with his friend Pat McAfee. And Pat McAfee heard a rumor about Dan Lanning, and he needed to confirm this.
Heard you don't zin anymore. That's cool. Good for you. Congratulations.
Hey, congrats, Coach.
I told you that.
Okay. I don't know where you heard that. Where'd you hear that? Oh, I thought that's what
Big news.
Yeah, that was what we heard. Okay. Hey, listen, run it back. Listen, we're going to run.
So Pat McAfee, I have a love-hate relationship with Pat McAfee because I think he's just sort of a just blowhard, bloviator, and has stepped in it many times, but he has totally rejuvenated College Game Day. I will say that.
Can't wait. I don't.
But that was him asking or saying to Dan Lane, I heard you don't zin anymore. I heard you're not popping pouches. You're not pulling a Danny Moraine and horseshoeing your upper and bottom gums there. And he said, hey, I heard you don't zin anymore. And you should go and find the video because Lanning's face, he goes wide-eyed like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I think does he reach for his back pocket instinctually? Go back and watch that video, Casey, because as soon as he brings that up, he kind of leans back and his left hand goes and reaches for the back pocket.
He's about to pop one. He wanted to pop one.
I think that was like his reminder, like, oh, yeah, I have
sit there, look around like, yeah, sure.
Dude.
I 100% stopped singing a while ago. Pat, I love that you say these things.
His face, just him leaning back going, and like reaching for his back pocket. And then I think he realized, like, oh, wait, I can't.
Oh, wait, I'm on TV.
I can't just pop a Zen. Dude, you want to win some, like, white boy, thick, country bred Chads in, like, Iowa, the Midwest, that you want to get some hog mollies, you go on Pat McAfee and you pop a Zen.
It's like when you see people drink the full beer at the sporting event. You get the boys riled up.
Exactly.
You know what you're doing.
Dude, yeah. You want a good recruiting pitch? Just literally have video of Darren Lane with a Zen and popping a pouch. I do not Zen. I do not tobacco. I do not chew. I do not spit. I found that out relatively quickly. That's not my game.
It's a nasty habit. I don't recommend it.
I don't mind the people doing the pouches because, yeah, it's not as gross.
Yeah, I did it to stop smoking cigarettes.
But
boy, did that.
It's just become cigarette butts 2.0 now because now people are just leaving Zins all over the place.
And that's the grossest too.
Yeah. What also? So I had a couple experiences.
Find a trash can.
I had a couple experiences in high school of attempting to chew, and that didn't go well. I think I have chewed tobacco 4 times total in my life. And I remember each one of them.
You went back for a 4th after the first 3 were terrible?
The 4th one was when I was drunk, and that was the final moment. That was
60% of the time, it works every time.
The first one.
That doesn't make sense.
Was my buddy Zach, who did chew at the time, and he's like, hey, man, try this Grizzly. And then put it in, took it right back out. I felt it starting to cut my lip, and I was just like, hell no. Week or so go by. Hey, man, I got some citrus-flavored Skol. Maybe the citrus will be better for you. Okay.
That's what got me.
I think it definitely went longer than 10 seconds, but I would say a minute.
Oh, I started sweating.
At
That's where
most.
like I'm sweating in places that I shouldn't be sweating right now. I'm not okay.
Then the third time we were at we graduated high school and we took a trip to Disneyland. Went to an Anaheim Angels game. It was just me and my 3 other buddies. And as we're at the Angels game, one of them pulls out a pack, starts snapping, doing the, hey, you guys let's take a dip. Dude, we're in California, graduated high school, we're at an Angels game, baseball. Where else are we going to take a dip? This is perfect. That one lasted about 5 to 10 minutes, but he yanked it right out of there.
Yes. Got a similar story where a buddy of mine, the first time that I ever tried to zin, I was at a spring training game. And both me and my buddy are sitting there in the outfield. The sun's starting to cook us a little bit.
Boy, I'm having such a fun time.
We are right in front, right behind the bullpen. My buddy starts to do the. At this point, we're hanging over the top of the bullpen. So if he spews, he's going all over whoever has to make this relief. If they go to the bullpen, the guy is going to come out with a lot of steam. And probably covered in some puke.
And the fourth time was I was drunk, and as you do when you're drunk, you're very confident in your abilities. And I felt like I could take a dip, and that one lasted about 10 minutes. And I went outside and vomited all my innards, and
playing with fire, Joe.
The last time that I ever took a dip, and that will be the last time I ever take a dip. Well, good for Dan. We got a Zen. We need to get a Zen sponsorship. Maybe that's what I need to do. Once the show's over, I'm going to hit the phones, start calling, and seeing if we can get Zen as a duck sponsor or something. There's probably some legal ramifications to where we can't make that happen, but I'm going to try.
We'll do what we can.
We'll make it work. Maybe Kratom. Ducks.
No.
Ducks brought to you by Kratom.
Far worse. No. That stuff is terrible.
Go to Cooley. Hey, I think I got a new category I want to prospect and start trying to call on for advertising. Oh, really? What is it? Kratom. Hear me out. It's the future. All right, take a break. Hour number 3 coming up. Let's dive into more of some of these new coaches in places. We did quarterbacks. Let's look at some of the coaches and DCs and OCs and all the guys in college football, new places. And I'm putting the stamp on it. I got 2 10 toes down today. One of these, the worst hire ever, and the best version of this in sports of all time. I got both of those. And I didn't even mention, and we'll get to this in the last hour, the quarterback that could end up the season with 2 rings. How? I will tell you how. Hour number 3, The Firm, Joe Fisher Esquire, coming up. Fan Sports Network.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, it's day 2 of Big Ten Media Days in Chicago. Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning, he wrapped up a few moments ago as he will be joined later on by quarterback Dante Moore, tight end Jamari Johnson, and defensive lineman Tatum Tuioti to answer questions about the upcoming season. Some NFL news for you as Browns safety Grant Delpit is signing a 3-year extension worth up to $16 million a year, and that includes $35 million in guarantees. That ties Delpit to Cleveland until the 2029 season. Atlanta Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has been sidelined in what head coach Kevin Stefanski denoted as a flare-up. In the meantime, Falcons are signing quarterback Cooper Rush after they released veteran quarterback Trevor Siemian with a non-football injury designation earlier this morning. And finally, your Portland Fire fell to Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces last night in Vegas. Final score on that one was 98-83. As Wilson, the 4-time MVP, she finished with 28 points, 14 boards, and 4 assists as the Aces moved their record against the Fire to 10-1 in head-to-head matchups. And for more sports scores and stores in 30 minutes, I'm Laura Case from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks.
Hour number 3 of the firm. Joe Fish hanging out with you. No Patrick, no Danny today. I believe they're both back tomorrow. I have no idea, honestly. Casey's giving me shrugs.
I think they're both back tomorrow.
Sure!
I know Patrick is at least back tomorrow. Danny might be out this whole week.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, it's Patrick and Stevie Brackets tomorrow.
Patrick and Stevie Brackets.
Patrick and Stevie Brackets.
Hell yeah. There's a lot of new coaches across college football. And I feel like we're at the point in the calendar where we need those reminders. I know that I'm going to start doing this at least with NFL football and players, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, flex, all those guys. So I know who the hell to pick and hopefully end up winning my league this year. But since it is Big Ten Media Days, college football, hot and heavy, very hot. I figured we'd run through some of these new coaches and new places to remind ourselves, because some of these I completely forgot myself. Let's start from the bottom and make our way towards the top, and I'll try and keep these to Power 4 because, Casey, do you care about who the Northern Illinois head coach is now?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure. It's Rob Harley, by the way, the former defensive coordinator.
Congratulations, Rob.
Good job, Bob. That baby Bobbert. But we'll start with the Power 4 here. Ryan Silverfield, former Memphis head coach. Well, Memphis has been pretty good the last few years. He's gonna get a bump up to Arkansas. Memphis has been okay the last couple of years, I should say. And let's face it, I mean, like Arkansas. They ain't got the resources like these other SEC teams do, so Arkansas is going to Arkansas. Ryan Silverfield, Godspeed out there. This one, just because it's geographically relevant, not Power 4, but of course, Washington State, the Cougs, they've got their new head coach, and Kirby Moore, former offensive coordinator from Missouri, is going to be the new head coach for Washington State. As we talked a little bit about today, one of the bigger hires, Kyle Whittingham going to Michigan, hopefully just giving that program some stability for the next few years and tone down some of the BS that's been going down the last couple of years with that program outside of the national championship. That was the good part. But basically everything else, it's been a mess. So Kyle Whittingham at Michigan, also geographically relevant, as we know here. Jamarcus Shepard, the new Oregon State head coach in Alabama. Did you by chance from Alabama, I should say? Did you by chance hear that he did not give Phil Steele his depth chart, which
interesting.
Phil Steele, who does his iconic college football preview magazine every year. In fact, I saw it on Dusty Hara's desk just yesterday. He was on with Dirt and Sprague last week, I want to say. And when it got to the subject of Jamarcus Shepard, he said that Jamarcus Shepard did not share his depth chart with Phil Steele. And the guys followed up saying, like, is that normal? He said he's never had that happen. In all the years Phil Steele has been doing this, every coach that he's talked to, every depth chart he has received, Jamarcus Shepard is the first one, apparently, to say, I'm not going to give you my depth chart. The conversation was fine. He went as long as to say, like, hey, Phil, I'm not going to do that, this year. I want to see what I got, figure things out. You'll get it in time. Next year.
Pieces, and you don't want people to start getting concrete on.
But
that's very interesting.
Yeah, I thought so, too. I was like, okay. I mean, that's...
Again, even if it does change.
Maybe someone should have told him, like, dude, give it to him. Like, we all do this. Like,
and even if it changes.
Huh. Interesting.
Very interesting.
As we know, Will Stein, former Oregon offense coordinator,
could you think
over
that
to Kentucky as well.
Could you think that it's because it's not concrete yet, or it's not even close to concrete yet?
But also I think that's just football guy move, like a new head coach not knowing the norm and just wanting to like set his own standard.
I think so too.
Do something different. And Phil Steele's like, literally every college. I know, Phil, I hear you, but, we're doing things a little bit different here at Oregon State this time. In the future, I'm sure, but yeah, we're working through some things right now, Phil, and so we'll be in touch. I don't know, Jamarcus Shepard, and that was probably the worst impersonation of all time, but I could totally see that being it.
You think that's a way of drawing up some smoke? Just any ways, any reasoning that we can draw up some smoke for this Oregon State team? Do you think that's...
I'm not giving him the depth chart because I don't have you guys on the depth. I don't know who's starting for me right now. Figure it out, boys. Motivation.
Interesting. That one's really interesting.
This one cracks me up just because if you ask local Coug, John Ludwig, Johnny Ludes, Coug Ludes, as he is affectionately called here, Jimmy Rogers of Ohio State. He leaves Washington State after 1 year and goes to Iowa State. After basically saying last year how stoked he was to be at Washington State and would never want to leave, blah, 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 dream job. Further ingraining my take that college football coaches are the biggest liars in history. More so than politicians, I would say. Also in the Power 4, Morgan Scaley stepping up for Utah. He was in waiting for that job after Whittingham left, so it will be his first year under his tutelage there. Alex Golish going to Auburn after the big year with USF. Also bringing along his quarterback, Byron Brown. Matt Campbell, as we mentioned, in Penn State. Intrigued to see what happens here. Tavita Pritchard, Stanford, baby. Did you see that Stanford got one first-place vote for the ACC?
That would make sense.
They were projected to finish last in the conference, but right next to their name, parenthesis, one parenthesis. So someone voted for Stanford for first in the ACC.
I wonder what school the voter went to.
But Tavita Pritchard, he backed up Andrew Luck during his time at Stanford.
The voter was Andrew Luck, probably.
Most recently, the Washington Commanders quarterback coach. Well, this whole new shakeup trying to get Stanford back to the, David Shaw days, I guess. They're bringing Tavita Pritchard as their head coach. Tosh Lapoy, also on the in the Bay there, going to be at Cal. Still love the story about him going to Hawaii and sleeping on a bench in a full suit to go meet with Jaron Kiave Sagapolotele and his family. That was great. This one intriguing as well. Pat Fitzgerald back in college football at Michigan State. I mean, it ended terribly at Northwestern, but God, his name was getting floated out for jobs all over the place a few years ago. Then I believe there was a little bit of like a scandal at Northwestern completely, or I forget what happened there, where he got forced out. Now he's back with Michigan State. Eric Morris, mentioned earlier in the show, Oklahoma State, coming over from North Texas, bringing a lot of his players over to that team as well. This one's intriguing, only from the sense of I saw them on someone's schedule the other day, and I said, and I was thinking that team might. I know what it is. So UConn has a new head coach. This is after Jim Mora left. Jim Mora is now at Colorado State. So there's 2 for you. Jason Candle at UConn. This will not be the last time I mention UConn football in today's show, which is ridiculous, but just hang with me for a little bit. Jason Candle at UConn, and then some other changes, at least in the big or the Power 4. Not in the Power 4, but Billy Napier going to James Madison. Colin Klein going to Kansas State. Former Kansas State legend. In fact, I think he was there as like an assistant for a few years, most recently at Texas A&M.
Coach Klein?
Coach Klein. Mr. Coach Klein. He's taken over Kansas State. Love that hire. Again, he played their absolute legend, some of their best seasons, most recently about 10, 15 years ago when Colin Klein was there. Love it. Jim Mora, Colorado State. John Summerall at Florida, coming over from Tulane. In the last few years, they've had their great Bob Chesney coming over to UCLA from James Madison. Very intrigued to see what he does there with Nico at quarterback. And as we know, James Franklin at Virginia Tech, very intriguing as well. I love Virginia Tech as a brand. I feel like when they're like good and rock and roll, and they're a fun brand in school to have prominent. Lane Kiffin, LSU, the top one. There is one coach that is not on this list because he's not a new hire. He is back for his second year. And I think it's finally time to put a stamp on his tenure, even though it's not over. It will be very soon. But it's time to make this official. We do that next here on The Firm. Joe Fisher Esquire sitting in for Danny and Patrick. This is the Fan Sports Network.
The new
It's time to make it official. And I'm saying it doesn't even get to the end of the season. But the news earlier this week just furthers this point that it's going to happen. Earlier this week, the University of North Carolina decided to part ways with football general manager Mike Lombardi, who was brought on by Bill Belichick when he was hired at North Carolina. And he was just fired the other day, placed on administrative leave. This all stems from, I believe, some HR allegations, investigations, something going on like that. But if this is Bill Belichick's guy, and as Bruce Feldman also said, that he is without question the worst general manager in college sports, end quote, the Bill Belichick experiment has already failed in one season. It is going to fail this season. It has already failed, considering you were firing your general manager a month or so into the season. And Bill Belichick will not be the coach of this team by season's end. Guarantee it. I don't know what the contract situation is. I don't know what the terms are. I don't care. He will not be the coach of this team by the end of the season. And I think their over-under win total was set at like 4.5. Casey, I got him at maybe one win this year.
Give me that schedule.
1 or 2 wins, maybe. So, they will beat the mighty Lafayette Panthers. Excuse me. I'm looking at the wrong schedule here. Lafayette, isn't that who the Ducks played last year? Or the Beavers played last year and lost to?
No, that was University of Louisiana Lafayette.
I think this is the same Lafayette.
Is that UL Lafayette?
I believe so. Who the hell did the Beavers play last year? It was a random team in the middle of. They played Lafayette.
Yeah.
The Lafayette Panthers.
University of Louisiana Lafayette.
And lost to them.
Correct.
Yes, okay.
Also lost to App State.
That's right. Because I think that morning I took them to cover the spread against Lafayette because I said there is no way on earth that they don't cover that spread. No, they beat Lafayette. I just don't think they covered, is what it was. God. Anyways, this isn't about Lafayette or Oregon State. This is about the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Okay, no. Oregon State defeated Lafayette. The Lafayette Leopards, 45-13.
Lafayette Leopards, that's right.
That was Anthony Hankerson's 4-touchdown running performance. He ran for 204 yards on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, this Bill Belichick hire is the worst hire in college football history. It is. Like,
I think I might be with you there.
Give me another one. I'm really trying to think of a hire that when it was made,
and this is not only
head scratching.
It's a head scratcher that confuses what's going on for the future of your program because
nobody wanted him.
And it's also,
which is again bizarre because it's Bill Belichick, but there's a reason why nobody wanted him. And he had to go the college route.
How negatively has he impacted the North Carolina brand?
How negatively has he impacted his own legacy, dude? Like, there is literally going to be 2 Bill Belichicks that you talk about. The NFL and the college, Bill Belichick. They are 2, like, completely different people. Honestly. Like, the NFL Belichick is a hard-nosed ass who wants to do anything possible to win. Doesn't care if your friends, does not care about.
Very much in the F your feelings.
And is one of, if not the most winningest, best coach in NFL history. College Belichick is a dude who is completely wrapped up and enamored with his hot 25-year-old girlfriend who is essentially running all the business side of his life.
Poorly.
And
again, we just said how negatively is he impacting the brand of North Carolina? You just said it yourself. His brand is gone into the dumper.
It is unbelievable that this is played out worse than we thought. And now, like I said, now we're at the point where they're firing their general manager, Mike Lombardi, who, and everybody in the circles is like, they're not shocked. They're like, he's terrible. Their schedule, dude, I'm going to run through this with you real quickly. I'm telling you, I think they got a win on this schedule, maybe. 1 or 2. And I don't gamble anymore. The DraftKings account is closed. I'm thinking about laying some scratch on the under win total for North Carolina. Just that alone. That is the one bet I place all year. This is their schedule. First game against TCU. They're going to lose. Their second game is against East Tennessee State. They should win that.
They should win that. Again,
I'm just going to leave it at that. They should win that.
The X's and O's of Bill Belichick mixed with the recruiting of a North Carolina, that should beat. Who's the team again?
East Tennessee State.
That should beat East Tennessee State.
What's their mascot? The East Tennessee State Buccaneers. So there you go. There's your win.
Belichick and Buccaneers. They don't mix.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. It'd be funny if Tom Brady showed up to that game in East Tennessee State gear. So after their patsy of a game, they will play Clemson. They will lose that game in Clemson. They will host Notre Dame. Doesn't matter. They're going to lose that one. They will then go to Pittsburgh, lose that one.
Yep.
They will go to Duke, lose that one. So that's the first half of their season. They're 1-5. And then the back half of the season, they will host Syracuse. Maybe they win that. I don't know what Syracuse football is like this year. McCord ain't there anymore. God only knows. Maybe that's their second win. I'm not going to count on it. I'll take Syracuse.
That's just me pleading blissful ignorance on that one. I'll probably take Syracuse.
Exactly. Miami. No, that's a loss.
Nope.
November 7th, and this is where I was saying that I would mention UConn football a second time. They will play at UConn. November 7th at UConn. UConn wants to have a good season. Full transparency, I did not read the article, but I saw an article with the headline that the UConn head coach that's coming in, he's coming into the program with something that hasn't been done before, and that's expectations. Like Jim Mora got UConn to be a respectable program the last couple of years. UConn wants to keep it rolling, and so UNC, they're going to lose that game against UConn. I'm calling it. That they're going to lose that game to UConn. Then they'll take on my boy, Jeff Brom in Louisville, lose that. They'll go to Virginia, lose that, and then they'll take on NC State at the end of the year, and they'll lose that game. They are literally only going to be East Tennessee State and maybe Syracuse. I'm calling them losing to UConn. That's going to be at UConn. That's if
you're calling them losing to UConn, Syracuse is a much better program than that.
I know. Trust me, I know. I feel like are we talking basketball right now? UConn, Syracuse?
It feels like, again, when
North
you get
Carolina?
into ACC football, it starts to...
You know what's funny is, this conversation is the complete opposite when it comes to college basketball. Like, we're talking about, like, God, North Carolina sucks. They might lose to Syracuse and UConn. College basketball, North Carolina, they might win the national championship. UConn, Syracuse.
Mike Malone, we'll see how that goes.
That's true. North Carolina, boy, what a time to be alive over there. They're winning one game, maybe two, dude. I'm guarantee you. And Bill Belichick, if he is not gone by that UConn game, he will be gone after it because they're going to lose that game.
I think how the optics look by the Syracuse game, they'll have their decision.
It's going to be bad.
They'll let him have a few games, but he'll lose the locker room probably by midway through the season.
If not already. Their general manager is gone. The guy who's supposed to build the roster.
Again, starting to crumble around you.
On the text line, Bill assumed college would be easy, as I saw people like Pete Carroll be successful in both, and was too arrogant to know it's not the same. And I'll add to this text, too arrogant to try and do something different and maybe think other opinions and viewpoints in the college game might work. I don't know. It's a disaster, though.
To be fair, he was told that he was a genius and a guru for 40 years of doing it one way, and now all of a sudden that's changed.
You can't do it exactly that way. Well, yeah. Shame on you, North Carolina, and shame on Bill Belichick the fact that you let this happen.
Again, what is it? Old dog doesn't learn new tricks?
You could have just ended your career with the Patriots and rode off to the sunset and still been with Jordan Hudson.
And maybe Kraft would have helped you get that first ballot Hall of Famer.
That's still egregious.
Yeah.
Again, there's two different Bill Belichicks.
There's NFL
now.
Bill, there's college.
There's NFL and there's college Bill. They are completely different people.
The life of Bill Belichick is determined pre and post Jordan Hudson.
Can we get the new version of The Football Life, Bill Belichick? That will be fun. All right, take a break. Get right back into it. Talking about NFL coaches, this one NFL coach can definitely learn from another. Do that next here on The Firm. But Casey Smith, the Sports Update.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, it's day 2 of Big Ten Media Days in Chicago. As Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning, he spoke about an hour ago. He'll take the podium later on, joined by quarterback Dante Moore, tight end Jamari Johnson, and defensive lineman Tatum Tuioti. They will answer questions about the upcoming season. Some NFL news for you, as Browns safety Grant Delpit is signing a 3-year extension worth up to $16 million a year. That includes $35 million in guarantees, as Delpit now is tied to the Cleveland Browns till 2029. Atlanta Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has been sidelined in what head coach Kevin Stefanski denoted as a flare-up. In the meantime, Falcons are signing quarterback Cooper Rush after they released veteran quarterback Trevor Siemian with a non-football injury designation earlier this morning. And finally, your Portland Fire fell to Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces last night in Vegas. Final score in that one was 98-83 as Wilson, the 4-time MVP, she finished with 28 points, 14 boards, and 4 assists as the Aces moved their record against the Fire to 10-1 in head-to-head matchups. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football.
Now, this just sounds like generic college football, like EA Sports college football 25 music. Because now they've been starting to do like real songs from college bands. So they have like a band version of Mo Bamba when you're sitting on the menu. But they used to just have like generic college band sounds. I have heard that. Yeah. So, also to add on to this Bill Belichick, Mike Lombardi story is Bruce Feldman tweeted out this morning at 5:18 an article that he wrote for The Athletic. It's a gift article, so it's free, about North Carolina, Mike Lombardi being put on leave. The headline also says the Bill Belichick era has reached a crisis point. In there, I just started reading it, just glancing at it. The reports is that it all started from an HR complaint. That is literally all they know about no investigation or whatever, or don't know more information about the investigation. This was also came out is that UNC's football program has been approached by the College Sports Commission about a potential investigation, according to two people briefed on the matter. As we know, College Sports Commission, a brand new commissioning body for college sports that just monitors violations of NIL, revenue share, and they also approve third-party deals with athletes. So that is what's currently happening, and I am very intrigued to read the rest of this article because Bruce Feldman says, quote, "Here's what we do know about Lombardi's time in Chapel Hill. Arrogance plus incompetence is a lethal combination." End quote. You got me locked in on this article for the rest of it. It's wild. It's just, and he even said, and it's a great point, it's like, this is a team, like they've never been a very good football school. Goes on to say they've had one double-digit win season in the past 30 years. Goes on to say that they had a 2-9 season under Larry Fedora just a season ago or a decade ago. But it didn't feel like they were the laughingstock of the sport. They are now. End quote. Very intrigued to read the rest of this to see what the hell Lombardi did on campus or with this team and this roster, to where Bruce Feldman wrote this and then on a podcast made the remark yesterday that he is hands down the worst GM in all of college sports. So intrigued to go into that. As far as other coaches that need to learn some lessons, I am a Cowboys fan. That is well known. One of the teams I dislike most on this planet is the Philadelphia Eagles. But there's a second team that I just despise and can't stand, and it is the San Francisco 49ers, who, by the way, have the Cowboys actually have won a Super Bowl more recently than the 49ers. Did you know that, Casey Smith?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, 49ers, they've been good the last few years, gone to a couple Super Bowls, but as far as a winning one, their drought is just a little bit longer than the Dallas Cowboys drought. Just putting it out there. Anyways, their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, who I call Mike Shanahan probably on about a 50% basis, understandable. He did something that, one, you shouldn't do, and then he did something that every coach ever should do. He recently got in a car accident and some pretty serious injuries. I think someone's one report said that he almost lost an eye, almost went blind in an eye. He had to get 40 stitches in his face.
Yeah, Chris Sims came out and said that if the scar was a little bit closer, he potentially
blind
could have lost his right.
Broke his nose, 3 ribs, his hand, suffered a severe concussion. He got effed up. And as this started to come out, because I think you can't. You're a pretty public figure, Kyle Shanahan. I don't think you're going to be able to hide 40 stitches and broken bone, especially as training camp is starting. As soon as you show up in a full body cast, I don't think people are going to be like, oh, that's nothing. Let's just talk about the roster and X's and O's. That's fine. And then it comes out, the story comes out that he was in a car accident on July 14th, where he collided with an SUV near his Northern California home. And the initial reports were that it was not his fault, and he got out ahead of it And he was like, no, it was my fault. I was on my phone. And I believe he said that he like dropped his phone.
Yeah, he said that he wasn't on it, but that he
was fumbling with it.
Reaching for it because it had dropped through the cracks. And by the time that he had reached for it, he had gotten in the accident.
Yes, exactly. Hey, we all know your attention is diverted on the road for half a second. That's all it takes. And I'm pretty sure the cops were the ones that were coming out and saying that it wasn't his fault. And then he took it upon himself to set the record straight and said that he didn't do it. So he was taken to the San Francisco hospital. I'm looking at this article. Shanahan told reporters that his cell phone slid off his lap and fell between the seats while he was driving. I was going 20 miles an hour. I was not on my phone, but I dropped my phone and it was stuck in my seats. It's on my lap and it slid off, and I went down to look for it and took my eyes off the road for 2 seconds. As I was coming up, the airbags hit me in my face and they broke my nose, and then they said the visor really gashed me. I took my eyes off the road looking for my phone, and my car veered into someone. It's one of those roads where there's no forgiveness. When I hit her, the impact was just so I'll never forget how violent it was. So it was a clerical error on behalf of the local law enforcement's database, which had attributed the crash to the female driver of the SUV. I would say that's more than a clerical error. That's a pretty major F-up.
That's a...
Who caused the accident?
Yeah, let's just create a PR nightmare for this lady for no reason.
That's not I typed an S instead of an A because the keys are right next to each other. That's a clerical error. So he got ahead of it and like fessed up to it. And this it won some points because it's just like coaches in football are just 85% of them are just douchebags and slimy. And as I said earlier, college football coaches are the biggest liars of all time. So I know it's like the bar is extremely low for them to just show some human decency. And so for Kyle Shanahan, and thank God nobody was tragically hurt, for him to do this, dude, I was just like, dude, you won some points with me. Literally the fact that you didn't have a PR team have to craft some sort of bull crap. And
this wasn't the NFL going
no,
to
like,
we
got to protect the shield here. He's like, no, I effed up. You know, I wasn't on my phone, but it slid off. I took my attention away, and look what happened. And so when I see that, and then a week ago, I see a Patriots press conference where Mike Vrabel walks into the press conference with a puppy. Literally walking to the table for his press conference with a puppy in his hands. That is the most shameless thing. Seriously. Just look at the puppy. Just look at the puppy. Look how cute the puppy is. Look at him. Look at him.
Don't look behind the curtain.
You're not looking at the puppy.
Do not look behind the curtain.
Look at the puppy. All right, we'll take the first question of the press conference. You in the front row. Wait, Diana Rossini. What are you doing here? So Mike Shanahan, I did it. I called him Mike Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan.
You can put it on the board.
Thank you for doing the bare minimum of just not being a douchebag and being a, I guess, decent human being in this case. So, Vrabel, take notes. Belichick, take notes. And we will take a break and wrap up with final arguments, closing arguments, and the best version of this audio of all time. It is definitive. I will have that closing argument next. Fan Sports Network, The Firm.
The alternative to divorce court.
You can't handle the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
Time for closing arguments, brought to you by Leskin Law. I gotta read somewhere. What is with all this paperwork? My God. Look at this. If you're watching on YouTube, look at all this. Look at all this paperwork I gotta go through to find the read for our boy Leskin. Unbelievable. Well, it is actually sorted this time, I will say that. But closing arguments are brought to you by Oregon Divorce Mediation Services, presented by our friends at Leskin Law. For more information, visit leskinlaw.com. Oregon Divorce Mediation Services, the alternative to divorce court. Closing arguments. I got two for you. This first one is a bit of audio that came from last night, I believe. Playing the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of California in the Western Hemisphere in North America. Houston Astros, they have a baseball player named Yordan Alvarez. Pretty good, I hear. 325. Before last night, had 34 home runs. Last night, he had his 35th home run, and my closing argument is that this is the best home run bat crack audio of all time.
Yordan Alvarez crushes one high and deep. Forget about it. 44 just matches the first pitch he sees tonight.
Did you make that louder?
35th home run of the year.
No.
And the Astros out in
That's
front
the best
1-0.
No, I did not.
Play it again.
Yordan Alvarez crushes.
Dude, was there a boom mic in?
That is crispy.
Goosebumps again. I played this for Luke Anderson earlier, and I was like, dude, this is like the best back crack.
I was across the room and could hear the crack.
And I show him, and even he was like, oh my God. And both of us, goosebumps. I got goosebumps again, dude.
Joe, but I want to know, is it better than this one right here?
Olsen heard country roads and he hit it a country mile.
Epic timing. Just couldn't have
You
better
cannot
timing.
script it better. It's hard not to be romantic about baseball sometimes.
That reminds me, there's this one video from Georgia football, I think it was maybe last year or the year before, but it was like slow-mo of a touchdown, and as a player got came down to slap high five a teammate, right when they make contact, the fireworks go off in the stadium and the lights flash. It's just perfect timing. Perfect. So that is my one closing argument, is that's the best home run audio back crack. That's a perfect for any of my MLB The Show players out there. When you get a perfect, that is a perfect, all the perfects right there. One more time. And now the full thing.
Yordan Alvarez crushes one high and deep. Forget about it.
How do you not curse if you're calling that game? Holy S-E-F-E crushed it! I would, dude. That might be my text tone. I need that, just a back crack, and when someone texts me, just that's great.
Oh, new text message, Joe.
After a while, someone's going to be like, what the hell is that? It's like, oh, that was Yordan Alvarez hitting a home run in the middle of July in 2025.
Again, Angels fans are going to have PTSD where all they just hear is the bat crack and just start waking up in their sleep.
Or Astro fans, if they hear my phone go off, they're like, hey, was that by chance Yordan Alvarez hitting a home run against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in 2026 on July 28th?
The Angels?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that is the back crack of Yordan Alvarez hitting a home run against the Angels on July 28th, 2026. It's funny you noticed that. And my last closing argument, listen, Your Honor, evidence is flimsy here, okay? But my last closing argument is that we are going to have a quarterback in the NFL that finishes the season with 2 rings, Your Honor. And that quarterback is Madison Beer's fiance. And that's how we will be referred to going forward. Madison Beer's fiance throws for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns on his way to a Super Bowl victory, securing his 2nd ring this year, and probably the most important ring, more so than the engagement ring.
Okay, let's get past the first playoff game.
I hope that's what happens. I heard some national guys on ESPN taking a dump all over him and that he gets every excuse in the world. If the Cowboys can't win it, I would love nothing more than have Justin Herbert run the table in this playoffs this year. To go from like, hey, he gets every excuse, every reason in the book to save him, to then just go like, screw you all of you, let's just win the Super Bowl.
And then you know what I get to say? Because it was all because of McDaniel.
He's a biracial angel.
Oh, I think I have like a dolphin sound somewhere. Yeah, there we go.
Juiced up.
I know he's not a Dolphin anymore. I love Mike McDaniel.
Big McDaniel fan.
He's one of those the other day where I was
juiced up.
Found out about like, where the OCs, DCs, and new place. I'm like, oh, that's right, Mike McDaniel. He's in LA now with Justin Herbert. Dude, I love it. Sign me up. And sign yourself up for Sports Saturday this weekend. Rashad and I, 9 to 11. But stick around for Happy Hour with Luke Anderson and Prime Time with Isaac and Suk the rest of today. And then we will send you into Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, the rest of the week. But I will catch you guys Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Casey Smith, appreciate you, sir. And all you listeners hanging out with me, appreciate you as always. We will catch you on Saturday, 9 a.m. Peace.